Hey everyone, sorry that I haven't made a video in a while, even though there's been plenty of videos where I haven't made one in forever, so I guess this isn't much of a difference. But I just wanted to make this video to talk about veganism and how I connect with animals as an autistic person, which I think is going to be the title of this video. So, by that description alone, you can probably already guess that I basically just gave away that if you haven't ever seen any of my earlier videos, then I should point out that I am autistic, and part of my autism is that I have trouble with social cues, but on top of that, I also have a very strong connection to animals. And I guess what I'm trying to say is that I feel like because of the fact that I'm autistic, that's the very reason why I went vegan. Now, one thing that I want to point out is that I had actually tried going vegan multiple times since 2016. I had sort of been off and on vegan for quite a while. But the reason why I failed so many times is because of just complete lack of support from my family. My family are not vegan, and they did not support my veganism at all. And so that's number one. Number two was the fact that part of autism is that I have trouble learning how to do certain things. And I definitely had a lot of trouble trying to figure out how to veganize all of my foods, or properly utilize my foods in a way that they were veganized so that I could actually have something to eat, rather than just going to the store and buying, pre-packaged foods that are vegan already instead of making it myself. So that was also the other issue that I had, which caused me to not succeed very well on the many times that I try to go vegan. But the difference here is that I do plan on staying vegan for life. I do plan on staying vegan for life, because there's just no excuse not to. I mean, even though I had tried to stay vegan for life and the many other times that I've been vegan, I failed each time because of the complete lack of support once again, and because of me not knowing how to properly utilize my foods in a way that were vegan once again. So those are the two reasons why I failed so many times, despite me desperately wanting to stay vegan for life. Now, I realize now that it's not as complicated as people think it is. There are plenty of ways to be vegan even if you are not a very good cook. And it's true, I'm not a very good cook, which is why my family said, "Oh, Linz, you can't be vegan, there's no way." But I want to learn how. I really want to learn how. And I'm going to try my best to learn how. But anyway, that's not the whole point of this video. The point of why I'm making this video is because I feel like part of the fact that I'm autistic, I feel like my autism is the very reason why I went vegan. Because as an autistic person, I am extremely hypersensitive to a lot of different things, and I also have a very strong connection to animals because of that. What I mean by that is this. So everyone thinks that we have 5 senses. Everyone thinks that it's just sight, hearing, touch, taste, smell, and that's it. But what people don't realize is that there are actually 6 senses. The 6th sense being the sense of the mind, the ability to understand the thought processes of others. And I feel like everyone has a 6th sense, literally everyone. But out of all the people in the world, I feel like autistic people and non-human animals are those who have the most powerful 6th sense of them all. And that is why I can really relate to animals in many ways, because, I know what it's like to be hypersensitive. Granted, I don't sense everything that animals can sense, but what I do know is that I know what it's like to be treated as inferior, or to be treated as my rights having less value than others. You know, animals are often treated as inferior objects, and that we should just have supremacy over them. And it's the same thing with me. Like, as an autistic person, I know what it's like to be treated as inferior to neurotypical people, or for neurotypical people to assume that my rights don't matter, that I don't have a voice, and that I have nothing to say, and that they should speak for me. But that right there is the major difference between people like me and animals. I mean, I'm not comparing them to each other at all. That's what I want to clarify as well. I'm not comparing autistic people to animals. Although I should say, you know, animals, like, that shouldn't be an insult anyway. Like, since when was it an insult to be considered a non-human animal? Because they're just like, you know, they're still residents of this earth. They're still earthlings. So there's no reason to be considering them inferior, or to be being called that an insult. But anyway, getting to the point, off topic, the one difference between people like me and non-human animals is that autistic people can actually speak for themselves, believe it or not, neurotypical people. We do have a voice, and we can speak for ourselves. Animals can't. That's the difference. Animals can't. You know, they can't speak for themselves. We have to be their voice. It is our moral obligation to be their voice and to stand up for them. So that's the one thing that I've noticed. And so I feel like autism would be the very reason for why autistic people should be vegan. Well, everyone should be vegan, really, because it just seems like the right thing to do. I mean, everyone should be vegan, because why would you want to contribute to the suffering of other beings when it's killing them, killing ourselves, killing the entire planet as we know it? So yeah, I feel like everyone should have an obligation to be vegan, but I feel like autistic people should have that obligation the most, or at least anyone on the spectrum. So, because in my honest opinion, really, I mean, if you eat animals, then really you don't love animals at all. Like, it's weird that, like, people have this mindset that it's like, oh, I love animals, but it's okay to eat their flesh on my plate. Like, that concept to me is so, like, insane. And it doesn't make any sense at all. If you really loved animals, then you wouldn't be contributing to all this. And if you don't love even if you don't love animals at all, you know, you're still killing yourself when you eat these products. You're still killing yourself. Like, processed meat causes cancer, which is now common knowledge, and dairy is incredibly poisonous for the body as well. But that's not the point of this video. The point is that, you know, well, I've been talking for a while now, but the point is that part of my autism is that because I'm hypersensitive, and because I know what it's like to be treated as inferior, then I can relate to animals in many ways. That is why I have the most empathy for them compared to the people who say that they love animals but really don't, or like the neurotypical population. And I'm not saying that, oh, neurotypical people love animals less than autistic people, because that's not true either. You know, I feel like there I mean, the autistic population is still a minority compared to those of neurotypical people, even though autism is common. But what I'm saying is that I feel like out of all the people on the planet, autistic people have the highest obligation to be vegan, even though everyone does, really, but autistic people have that obligation the most. So that's just what I wanted to talk about. I'm sorry that I'm talking too much, but, you know, despite the abuse that I've experienced, I'm sure it's really nothing at all compared to the abuse, the torture, and the complete mutilation and murder of these animals that they experience. And that is why it is so, 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 so important that we not just be vegan, but that we also be active. You know, I feel like it's the only way that these animals' lives can be saved. And the only way to do that is by being active. So, yes, in regards to being vegan, not only do I plan on obviously staying vegan for life, but I also plan on being active in my veganism, even if my family does not support it. Because personally, I don't care what they say. You know, if standing up for the rights of animals means getting criticized by my family but still saving the lives of those who can't speak for themselves, then so be it, because we have to be their voice. So that's just all I wanted to say, and I hope you believe in this message and find this message as important as it is to me. And thank you for watching. I'm sorry if this video is a little boring, but you know, I just wanted to say that that's why I'm vegan, and that's how I connect to animals as an autistic person. So, thank you for watching.